Shocking moments today in the Oval Office.
President Trump and J.D. Vance erupted at Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky over the war with Russia. Here's a portion of their exchange.
We signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
But you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on over there. I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the cards. You're buried there. You're people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers.
So much to take out of that. And WGN's Jenna Barnes has been following the reaction all day long for us, and she joins us with more tonight. Jenna?
Yeah, Ray, Zelensky isn't apologizing. He says any peace has to come with security guarantees. And reaction is pouring in tonight. Congressman Mike Quigley says tyrants are celebrating. In the aftermath of the Oval Office meeting seen around the world, President Donald Trump said he wants an immediate ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine and warned Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky to make peace or lose U.S. support.
I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened.
Zelensky appearing on Fox News to dissect the breakdown of diplomacy.
When they, for example, say that Ukraine is almost destroyed, that our soldiers run away, that they are not heroes, that Ukraine lost millions of civilians, that his president is dictator, you know? What is the reaction? It's not about me. The reaction is that where is our friendship between Ukraine and the United States? That's it. This is filling. And that's why I do not want to lose our great partners at the United States.
Though some Republicans are defending Trump's handling of the meeting.
I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. I think most Americans saw a guy that they would not want to go in business with.
Chicago's Ukrainian community is concerned.
Blaming the victim and demanding them to surrender, that is exactly what is going on right now. Ukrainian people are being underestimated again.
Dr. Maria Dimitrov-Kapeniak is the president of the Illinois chapter of the Ukrainian Congress Committee of America. She says the outpouring she's received since today's meeting is similar to the start of Russia's invasion.
Everyone is reaching out and asking, just like 3 years ago when the full-scale war broke down, how are we holding up? What can they do to help?
Sometimes you wonder if you're witnessing history. Sometimes you don't recognize that you're at a point in history.
Congressman Mike Quigley represents Ukrainian Village. He's visited Ukraine 4 times since the war began.
President Trump, you should be thanking Zelensky. Our best military people think that The Ukrainians are the ones giving up their blood, their young people, to fight against one of our greatest threats. We are fundamentally a different country than we were weeks ago, and we're fundamentally less safe. I don't know who our allies are, but I'm certain that our allies don't consider us one.
Governor J.B. Pritzker posting on X this afternoon, President Trump's simpering fealty to Vladimir Putin and Russia is embarrassing and dangerous. Illinois stands with Ukraine, and so should the White House. He is one of 14 Democratic governors who signed a separate joint statement expressing solidarity with Ukraine. We're live in Ukrainian Village tonight. Jenna Barnes, WGN News.